Hello students, time for our online English language class. So we just in our previous class we read the poem Swift Things Are Beautiful, and I discuss the main theme of the poem. I think you all read the poem very well, and there must be fill in the blanks from each line. So you please all memorize whole of the poem thoroughly, and if the first 8 line of the poems you must memorize well, because the questions there must be a question to write the first 8 lines of Swift Things Are Beautiful, the poem. Okay, so you memorize first 8 lines very properly. I am telling you the poem again, once again, and next I will discuss the question answers. Swift things are beautiful, swallows and tear, and lightning that falls, bright veined and clear. Rivers and meteors, wind in the wheat, the strong withered horse, the runner's sure feet. And slow things are beautiful, the closing of day, the pause of the wave that curves downward to spray, the ember that crumbles, the opening flower, and the ox that moves on in the quiet of power. So you please all, I am telling you again, read the poem thoroughly, and here is a word bank. You can see here. You please you all remember the word meaning of these words, and now I am telling you about the poet Elizabeth Coatsworth. Remember the name, Elizabeth Coatsworth. Here I am showing you the picture of the lady poet Elizabeth Coatsworth, who was born in the year 1893 and died in the year 1986. She was born in New York, was an American writer of fiction and poetry for both children and the adults. She won the Newbery Medal in 1931 for her novel The Cat Who Went to Heaven. Remember the name of the novel, The Cat Who Went to Heaven. The question must be maybe from here too. She wrote more than 100 books in her lifetime and was influenced by her travel experiences from earlier years. So that's all about the author, and now I am going to the comprehension part of this poem. Here you can see that the comprehension part in the question number 1 is arrange the following in increasing order of speed. Number them from 1 to 5. Arrange the following in increasing order of speed. Okay, so you can see here the first one is an opening flower. Its speed is very slow. Next, 2, a runner. Next, second here is the runner, and third, a deer, and fourth, a river, and fifth, meteor. That is super fast meteor. Okay, so you please read it carefully, and now I am telling you the here imagery. As you already know, imagery is the use of descriptive language which helps represent objects and ideas more effectively and create pictures in the reader's mind. When we read a poem, then a picture creates in a poem, or maybe it may be a story or something else. It creates a picture in our mind. Swift Things Are Beautiful is rich in examples of what swift and slow, both in nature. These images add to our emotional response to the poem, as in the line, and lightning that falls, bright veined and clear. Lightning, the poet compares lightning with our vein with the vein in our body. Both are blue, and the poet compares with that. So you have been learnt about visual imagery till now. Poet also use imagery to talk about the other senses. The different types of imagery are visual imagery, sight; auditory imagery, hearing; olfactory imagery, smell; gustatory imagery, taste; tactile imagery, touch. Here in one, match the sentences in column A to the kind of imagery they create in column B. The room was dark in night. It is visual imagery. So, it is called what? Visual imagery. My sister whispered a lullaby into my ears. It is auditory imagery, hearing, auditory imagery. This table has very sharp corners, which you can feel it is touch. It is tactile imagery. Tactile imagery. Next, this orange is very sour. It is about taste. So it is here it is gustatory imagery. And she whiffed the aroma of melted butter. It is olfactory imagery. Okay. Olfactory imagery is smell. So you please read this part well. And now I am going to discuss about the question answers on this chapter. And I'll give, after the discussion, I'll give you the PDF. You please all copy these question answers in your copies. And then I'm telling you, swift things are beautiful. Answer the following questions in short. What does it mean by when the poet calls lightning bright vein? Here the poet compares lightning with vein of our body, as both are blue in color. List the swift things the poet referred in the poem. The swift things the poet referred in the poem are swallows, deer, lightning, rivers, meteors, wind, horse, and runner's feet. What does it mean for a runner to have sure feet? A skilled runner always balances between the time and the motion perfectly to touch the finishing line. So, he or she must have the sure feet every time when touches the ground. List the beautiful slow things the poet referred in the poet. Swift things are beautiful. The beautiful slow things are referred by the poet here are closing of day, pause of the wave, crumbling ember, opening flower, and moving ox. What does the closing of day refer to in the poem? In the poem, swift things are beautiful. The poet referred the closing of day with beautiful slow things. What does the term quiet of power mean here? We usually equate power with speed, like racing cars, rocket, the leopard, etc. But slow things can be powerful too, like a moving ox. Here the poet tells us this by the term quiet of power. Explain the meaning of ember that crumbles. When a glowing coal slowly crumbles to ash as the fire goes out, it looks so much beautiful. The poet here tells us that. Next, question 8. What do you mean by strong withered horse? A horse when moves first, its strong shoulders look very beautiful, which the poet referred in this poem as swift beautiful thing. What is swallow? Question 9. Swallow is a type of bird which are frequent. This bird species known for being an acrobatic flyer. I'm telling you again. Swallow is a type of bird which are frequent. This bird species known for being an acrobatic flyer. Next, question 10. What image does the phrase wind in the wheat create? Wind is invisible. It is the effect of the moving wind that we can see. A fast moving wind can transform a wheat field into just like a wavy ocean. The poet just tells us that in the poem. Next question 11. What do you mean by the pause of the wave? Whenever we travel to any sea beach, we can watch how a crashing wave pauses for a second or two as it crests. It's a beautiful sight to watch. Next question 12. What is the view of the poet in this poem? Write in short. The poet Elizabeth Cotsworth here in the poem trying to tell us to appreciate the moments of beauty that happen every day in our lives. They can be both swift or slow, but things of beauty, which moment we might not be able to get again. So that's all the of the question answer session, and we just completed the whole poem and question answer session, and the next day we will start a new chapter. Okay, so you all please memorize all the question answers and remember the first 8 lines of the poem thoroughly, and fill in the blanks too. So till then, bye.